Hey, it's Elizabeth and this is your weekly tasting. This week, Tempranillo, Spain's signature grape. We're offering this pack because Tempranillo is the star of Spain, but it is so different based on where it's made and who is making it. So we're gonna learn the range of this grape, we are gonna learn some of the key regions that make it, and some winemaking terms that you need to look for on the bottle that will indicate what's in it and what the style is. This pack is basically an evolution of Tempranillo. We've got two Riojas, an amazing opportunity to taste from the same producer. I was so excited to see this. A Reserva, which is aged a year less in bottle than the Gran Reserva, which is over 12 years old. This wine is old and it's ready to drink now. These wines are a bit of a blend. They're not just Tempranillo, but they're really gonna show Rioja's character. Next, we've got some Toro, and then we have a wine from Ribera del Duero. These are 4 sides of Tempranillo, 3 places, and what you're gonna see is the effect of terroir and winemaking, that land, that person together, and these are classic examples of the grape. You are going to see clearly the effects of how a place and a person can change the nature of Spain's signature grape. It's amazing, and this stuff is just plain tasty. You're gonna love it. The Muriel Reserva from Rioja is an amazing wine. It's vintage 2011. Now there's some traditional producers in Rioja that have been around for centuries, and there's some modernistas, as they call them, that are really focused on making a modern style of Tempranillo. Muriel kind of resides in between. They have these very traditional vineyards where they're looking for a certain level of ripeness, a certain level of earthiness, but their winery is pretty modern. So they have this nice blend of both clean winemaking and great older vineyards. So this wine is absolutely prime. It's a 2011 vintage, which is fantastic. Take a look at the color. It's kind of a ruby color. You see a little bit of browning around the edge. It is about 6 years old, so you're gonna see that. Give it a swirl, and what you're gonna find is black fruit and some red fruit, but really the overwhelming note is the salty earth, decaying leaf note. If you close your eyes and you smell this wine, you'll almost smell this pumpkin character, this squash character. It's kind of fall-like. It smells like carving a jack-o'-lantern in some ways, which I know is very unusual, but it's totally true. Take a sip. And what you're gonna find is that this wine really delivers on the smell. It does taste like black fruit, a little bit of vanilla and cinnamon from the oak aging, and then you get that earthy, decaying leaf character. So balanced tannin, that mouth drying sensation with the acidity underneath your tongue watering and watering, makes it a fantastic wine. It's gonna be great with grilled food, roasted meat, hard cheeses. Nothing too powerful though, because this is really a medium-bodied wine, a fantastic wine. I know you're gonna love it. The Muriel Gran Reserva from 2005 is an amazing wine. This wine is 12 years old, and we're so excited to be able to offer this next to the Reserva because this really shows you the development of how a wine can taste depending on the terroir and the winemaking. So this wine, let's just take a look at it first and we can talk a little bit about what Gran Reserva is. It's a little bit of a ruby color, a little bit brown around the edges. Again, this is an older wine, so you're gonna get that. And if you give it a swirl, the house or the bodega has a style. It's this terroir-driven style, super salty earth. You will get some smoky notes, a little bit of a campfire note, and dark fruit. You want to decant this wine for a little while just so that you can get all of these notes that I'm talking about. If you taste it, it's a little bit perfumed also, but you get this campfire note again, the smoke, a little bit of caramel. The texture is mellow and it's smooth from the tannin, but the acidity underneath your tongue's watering and watering. Perfectly balanced wine, little bit of prune and earth. The difference between a Gran Reserva and a Reserva is that a Gran Reserva is required by law to be aged for 2 years in some sort of oak vessel, a cask or a barrel, and then 3 years in the bottle. So this gives it a little bit more time to develop and become more intense in flavor. This is the best of any house. It's only supposed to be made in the best years. 2005 was a phenomenal year in Rioja, and we are so excited to be able to offer you this wine. which is ready to drink right now. After 12 years of age, a Gran Reserva is now finally ready to enjoy. So roasted meats and vegetables, manchego cheese, sheep's milk cheeses, lentils. The food can't be too strong because the wine is a little bit more mellow, but I know you're really gonna enjoy this. Enjoy it for its subtlety and its beauty. The Mazal Barrica Tempranillo, or Tinto di Toro as it's called in Toro, which is a region that you might not know about, but it's about 40 miles east of the Portuguese border. It's hot, it's dry. Without the Duero River, viticulture could not exist here. It provides some cooling breezes in the hot summer. It provides water for irrigation if needed. The grape, the Tempranillo grape, which is 100% Tempranillo, is called Tinto di Toro, same exact grape. Let's look at the color of this. Hot weather means that we're gonna get a really highly pigmented grape, or highly pigmented wine, because the grapes are gonna be dark. So pretty dark in color, can't see your finger through the glass, and high alcohol, 14.5% means that dripping down the glass are these really slow legs. It's the difference in surface tension between water and alcohol, so that's what you get. Oh my gosh. This wine is earthy, it smells like mocha, it almost smells like a coffee house. There's some plum and black cherry, but you get a lot of oak here, and let's taste it. Next to the fruit, next to the mocha, you get a mineral earthiness. This wine has a sense of place, it has a somewhere-ness. There's some nice mouth-drying tannin, some great mouth-watering acidity to keep balance in this wine. A lot of Toros that you might try are heavy and dark, but this one has a sense of lightness that makes it really great. You want to decant this for about 20 minutes. By the way, decanting can be this, just pour it in the glass and leave it for about 20 minutes if it's summer. Put a little cloth over it so the fruit flies don't get to it, and have it with hearty food. Filet mignon, roasted meats, mushrooms, and you will absolutely love this. Yet another expression of Tempranillo, this a bit heftier, a bit heavier, but completely delicious, has a lightness and minerality to it, and that's what makes it a fantastic version of Toro. The Legon Roble Ribera del Duero is an amazing wine. Ribera del Duero is Spain's probably their boldest wine because the area is hot and dry, and if not for the Duero River, much like Toro, which we see in the Mazal Barrica, you have a very hot and dry climate where you would not have viticulture without the cooling breezes from the Duero River. There's barely any water, and here it's 100% Tempranillo. Roble means that it's a fairly quick aging, only 3 months in French oak for this Tempranillo. And if we look at the color, we see a super dark color, pretty thick legs from the alcohol. If we give it a swirl, lots of dark fruit, and this pine balsam note, which is so unique and wonderful for this wine. A little bit of horse saddle also. Plum, blackberry, vanilla, nice tannin balanced by moderate acidity. This wine is probably not a sipper. I would say it's much better as a food wine. Think about what you're putting on the food. It can go with red meats and roasted meats, but I think that what's really important here is the blend. Black pepper, paprika, garlic. I put this on light, flaky white fish and had this wine with it, and it was fantastic. So it's all about the spice with this wine. It's absolutely delicious. Decant it for about 20 minutes and you will be so happy with it. It's a really moderate and mild version of Ribera del Duero and completely tasty and delicious. I know you're gonna love it. Hey, it's Elizabeth again, and I really hope that you enjoyed this tasting of these 4 amazing Tempranillos. You should get a sense of how terroir and winemaking affect this grape, which is Spain's signature. It is an amazing grape, shows so much variation based on where it's grown and who's making it, and it's also an outstanding value. So I hope that you enjoyed it, that you'll give us feedback, and that you'll check back on Mondays for the latest pack available. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time.